There is no chaos, only patterns we fail to see. This is the Wren Files. I was just closing the curtains when the knock came. 3 sharp raps, not rushed, not hesitant, just wrong. Too deliberate for a stranger, too late for a neighbour. It was 10:47 on a Tuesday night, and no one had business at my door in that kind of rain. I opened it anyway. The woman standing there was soaked to the bone, her coat sagging with water, eyes wide but oddly unafraid. "Mr. Wren?" she asked, voice catching between shivers. "Lucian," I said. "Come in." She stepped in without wiping her feet. Something about her felt untethered, not hysterical, not even scared, just as if she were floating between realities and hadn't quite chosen one yet. Her name was Marla Densley, 28, freelance illustrator, no criminal record, no psychiatric history, at least none she would admit. "I think I've been living in a dead man's house," she said without blinking. That's not the sort of thing you reply to immediately. So I poured tea, let her fill the silence. "It started 3 nights ago," she said. "I was walking past this place on Grafton Street, boarded windows, overgrown garden, the works. But the light was on upstairs, just faint, yellow, like candlelight. I don't know why I noticed, but I did." "Did you call the police?" She shook her head. "I went in." "You broke in?" The door was open. I didn't believe her, but I let her continue. "I went upstairs. There was a room, small, barely furnished, mattress on the floor, pile of blankets, no electricity. But there was a candle, burning, and this smell, like dust and lavender." She looked down at her cup. "I slept there." "You what?" "3 nights. No one came. It was quiet, peaceful, the world outside. It's so loud, Mr. Wren." "Lucian." She nodded. "Lucian." I studied her carefully. She wasn't high, not drunk. Her story was strange, yes, but not unstable. "Then why are you here now?" "Because tonight someone else was in the house." She said it flatly. "No drama, no panic." I went up the stairs and the candle was already lit, and on the wall there was something new, a photograph of a man, sitting in that same room, same mattress, same angle. She paused. "I swear that photo wasn't there before. And the man in it, I think he was looking at me." I called Inspector Quinn the next morning. He didn't even blink at the story. "Grafton Street, number 47?" he asked. "Yes." "That place has been empty since '09. Belonged to an old history teacher, hermit type. Died alone, no family. House was stuck in probate for years. No one's touched it. Except now someone has." Quinn rubbed his chin. "Let me guess. Candle's gone, no photo, nothing to see." I nodded. He grunted. "Good luck, Wren. I'm not filing a report over a candle." I didn't expect him to. This wasn't a case for the force. This was something else. Something waiting. Tonight I'll go to Grafton Street. That house isn't abandoned. It's just been waiting for the right person to return. I arrived at 47 Grafton Street just after 11 p.m. The rain had stopped, but the street still glistened under the lamplight like they'd been lacquered in grief. From the outside, the house looked exactly as Marla described, tired brickwork, a gate that barely clung to its hinges, and an upstairs window boarded shut with warped plywood. But it wasn't the house that caught my attention. It was the air around it. Still, too still. Not the stillness of sleep, but of something holding its breath. The front door creaked open under my touch. No lock, no scrape of resistance, just surrender. Inside, the smell hit me first. Not rot, not damp. Lavender, faint, like the memory of someone who used to wear it. I moved slowly, boots pressing into dust that hadn't been disturbed in years, or so it should have seemed. But there were footprints, barely there, inconsistent but real, a pattern of soles, some sharp, others smudged, like someone coming and going with no plan, no purpose, just being. The staircase was narrow and crooked, railing half loose. At the top, a narrow corridor led to a room on the left. I didn't knock. The door opened with a long, reluctant groan. The room was as Marla described. A thin mattress on the floor, pile of folded blankets, a small table, one half-burnt candle in a cracked holder, but this time there was no photo, no trace of the man she claimed to see. Just something I didn't expect. Warmth. The air was warmer here than downstairs. Not enough to be comforting, just enough to be wrong. Like someone had breathed into the room and not quite left. I crouched to inspect the mattress. Dust, yes, but uneven. Someone had lain here, recently, but no one was here now. I took a photo of the setup, every corner, and just as I turned to leave, I noticed it. A second candle unused, tucked behind the door frame, and under it, carved faintly into the wood. Let her stay. The next morning, June walked into my office before I could ask for her. "I looked up the probate records," she said, dropping a file onto my desk. "You were right. No one's touched that house officially since '09, but—" She opened the file and pointed to a yellow document. This was an addendum in the file, handwritten, never processed. It was a letter, or a note, rather, from Edward Marlowe, the man who had lived and died in the house. "In the event of my death, I leave the house as is. Let it stay quiet. Let it stay undisturbed. I never belonged anywhere else, and neither does it. If someone finds their way here, it means they were meant to. No signature, no witness, no legal standing. But—" "He left this in his will file?" I asked. June nodded. "Unfiled, but tucked inside the envelope, handwritten and folded." "And no one saw this?" "No one looked close enough. Back on Grafton Street that afternoon, I noticed something I'd missed the night before. A neighbour 2 doors down, curtains twitching. I knocked. The woman who opened the door looked like she hadn't spoken to a human in weeks. Wiry frame, mismatched socks, eyes darting. "I'm not here about you," I said. "I'm here about number 47. Her expression shifted. Not relief, not fear. Recognition. "You saw her too, didn't you?" she said. I paused. "Marla?" She shook her head. "Know him." Then added, "Or what's left of him." She invited me in, the neighbour. Name was Elsie Grant, retired postwoman, the sort of woman who said things like spooky nonsense but left her lights on all night just in case. She made tea without asking milk in first, and sat across from me with the posture of someone about to confess to something that hadn't technically happened to them. "You said you saw someone?" I prompted. She nodded. "Not clearly, just movement. Not every night, maybe once or twice a month, but always the same time just before midnight. A man, tall, thin. He'd walk through the garden gate, never use the path, straight into the house like it was his. And this was recently? Last week was the last time. And you never told anyone? Who would believe me? Besides, it's not like he caused trouble. Never saw lights, never heard noise, just him, always him. She took a slow sip of tea. I thought he was a squatter, but then I saw the obituary. Marlowe's? She nodded again. His photo, same man. But the paper said he died in 2009. She met my eyes. Mr. Wren, I know what I saw. Back at the office, June was already ahead of me again. I found something, she said, not looking up from the file in her lap. Edward Marlowe wasn't entirely alone. She laid out a faded school record, photocopied, slightly curled. Turns out he taught art part-time at Croydon Community College. Had a student, one he mentored closely. Name sound familiar? She turned the screen toward me. Marla Densley. I stared at the photo. A younger Marla, age 16, clutching a sketchbook. Beside her, Marlowe thinner, unshaven, smiling awkwardly. He taught her? I asked. Apparently took a particular interest. School record mentions he submitted her work to competitions, helped her apply for a grant, then no contact after graduation. Until now. I called Marla in that evening. She arrived slower than before. Still quiet, still damp around the edges, like someone caught in the wrong season. You didn't tell me you knew Marlowe, I said. She sat down, not defensive, just tired. I didn't think it mattered. It does. She exhaled slowly. He was kind to me. When things were bad at home, let me stay in his classroom after hours. Never touched me, never crossed a line, just saw me when no one else did. And after school? I wrote him once, after Mum died. He never replied. I assumed he'd forgotten. Then why the house? She looked away, then said, almost ashamed, I didn't know it was his. Not at first, but when I saw the candle and the way the room felt, I knew. Knew what? That he hadn't left. Not really. It was June who found the box. Hidden in the city archives, a misfiled estate clearance from 2010. Inside, personal effects of Edward Marlowe. A camera. Old letters. A set of sketches. And one photograph. Printed on glossy paper, slightly curled at the edges. A girl asleep on a mattress. Same room, same candle, same framing. It was Marla. But the photo wasn't new. It was dated 2007. I showed it to her the next day. She stared at it for a long time, like she was waiting for it to change. I don't remember this, she said quietly. You were 16. She nodded. He took this? I think he kept it. Meant nothing sinister by it, just held on to it. She nodded again, slower this time. I think I needed to come back. I just didn't know why. That night I returned to Grafton Street one last time. The house was colder now, still empty. No footprints, no warmth, no candle. But on the wall, where the photo had once hung, a new mark. Just 3 words, faint but clear. Thank you. Go. The file remained unofficial. No charges, no ghosts on paper, just another closed case with no crime. But I watched Marla from a distance, weeks later, walking past the house. She didn't stop, didn't look back, just kept walking. Some stories don't end with answers. They end with someone finally leaving.